BODDAMN. In this video, we're gonna be talking about losing hair and what to do about it. What's going on, guys and gals? Chris with the BODDAMN channel, and this channel is all about food, fitness, and how to live an active, healthy lifestyle. So here in this video, we're gonna be talking about hair loss. Hair loss is such an interesting subject because I think it comes everybody's way at some part of life, whether you're a male or a female. Especially with males 25 to 55, it will come and go. With females, you might see your part kind of, getting a little bit more spread apart. You might notice some thinning at the temples. But for most guys, you're starting to probably notice, if you're in my age, and I'm 47 years old, I know I have a decent head of hair and I want to keep it that way, but I have been noticing some hair loss, and I'm going to discuss here on the video some absolute things that would work and that does work. And it's actually said by my certified trichologist friend Katie that this method that I'm doing actually does work. It's a little bit on the slower side, but it does work. So I'm gonna share that method with you here on this video. But yeah, hair loss is annoying. It's not something that anyone wants to deal with. And if you catch it kind of early, you can understand, maybe some of the contributing kind of factors to hair loss. You can lock in on some of the symptoms, and then you can kind of formulate a strategic attack plan. And so I think this video is going to be a little bit more on a two-part kind of thing. One is going to be like the actual method that I want to discuss with y'all. And the second video that I want to put out will be kind of like the stressors in everyday life that could lead to hair loss. So yeah, there are stressors out there. There are oral stressors, there are, actual stressors. There's all kinds of random stuff that will lead to hair loss slowly, and some of the things are actually pretty abrupt. So let me take you back a little bit. The very first time I ever noticed that I was getting a little bit of thinning, right about here, and we're not going to count the one time I had what was called alopecia areata or something, where there was like a quarter-sized, like smooth part at the back of my head that I had to go to the doctor for, and they put me some steroids in that one part, and the hair grew back and it was fine. But it's like a weird kind of like immune system reaction where your immune system just targets one little piece. So that's not what we're talking about here in this video, but that has happened to me back in my professional work days with corporate America. Highly stressed out, it did happen once, and I remember that. It actually happened to my brother too, I think when he was in a nursing program or something. But again, he went to a doctor and they got a little cortisone. I don't know, they have some shot that they put in your head, like an actual needle, and it remedied that whole issue. But what we're talking about here is pretty much normal hair loss, right? It's usually right around here, the crown, back of the head, top of the head, all that kind of stuff. So if you're experiencing that, just listen up and I'll tell you what the method is. But I'll take you back to the very first time that I actually noticed it. I remember I was going across the Congress Street Bridge here in Austin, Texas, probably about 20 years ago, okay? And I remember it was just the way that the sunlight hit, I looked in the rearview mirror of my car at the time, and I just remember the way that the sun hit like right around here. I was like, oh my God, like I can see deeper than I normally could see in my normal mirror at home. And it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So luckily I had some good friends that were telling me about minoxidil and finasteride that, get on those two kind of things and get on a religious kind of application of the minoxidil like twice a day. And then they gave me a protocol with the finasteride. So I went to the doctor, got finasteride, and I haven't seen any side effects, by the way. And there are some, but it's kind of like a person by person basis, I guess. I've never experienced any side effects, but I also am extremely healthy at 47 years old. I drink a lot of water. I eat extremely, clean foods. I have clean supplements. I work out all the time. I sweat frequently. I move every single day. And so I might be a little bit more of an anomaly of a 47-year-old, but nevertheless, I was experiencing hair loss 20 years ago. So what I did to combat that, and I'm going to locate some pictures as we tell the story, because everybody that has hair loss will remember certain periods of time when they really noticed it. Now, it can be as simple as like looking in the mirror. It could be fluorescent, hitting you at some bathroom mirror at some restaurant. It could be getting out of the pool and you take a picture with your friends and then you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea like it went back that far. Or it could just be as simple as just looking down at the shower drain and noticing clumps of hair just kind of falling out. So those are all kind of like the ways that people kind of go, okay, something's not right. And typically that's an indicator of stressors in your life, right? But there are some things that you should start doing if you're starting to experience hair loss. There's some absolute protocols to take, and this is what it is. So my friend Katie, who's a certified trichologist, she's basically a scalp expert and a follicle expert. They actually get like a little microscope thing and they put it on your head and everything. she told me that the one method that I was doing is working. It's slow, but it's working, right? Because she could see new growth. And actually, I am undergoing my second Folix laser hair treatment kind of thing with her. But that's for a whole nother vlog. That's a whole nother kind of trajectory of hair regrowth journey and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully we'll take you along with me on that. If you put comments down below, if you want to see that journey and all that kind of stuff, I think it's really cool. And I'm just going to post it regardless. But there are, ways to get regrowth before you end up at Turkey and getting like a hair transplant, Let me show you what she told me was absolutely working. It's slower, but it does work. And it's good to keep like a maintenance and stimulate regrowth, because when she was looking in the trichoscope at my scalp, she was like, I see regrowth. It's small little hairs, but I can see them. They're there, So this is what it is. I have a little box here that has the things that I use. The very first item that I use is pretty obvious. It's gonna be minoxidil right here. This is gonna promote circulation around the scalp and everything like that. So this is really important. This is commonly known as Rogaine. I've been on minoxidil probably for the past 20 years now, but I usually apply it only once a day, and you're usually supposed to apply it twice a day. So I'm behind by like one session, I guess, a day. But now I've been doing it in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I'll put it in my hair. And this is a foam one. It doesn't make my hair oily or anything like that. I just rub it into like the problem spots right around here, never to the sides or anything like that, because I don't have any problem spots there. But the minoxidil will be the very first thing that you're going to want to buy. You can buy this at Costco. For a pack of 6, it's like 50 or 60 bucks. You can also look on Facebook Marketplace, because there are a lot of people that actually sell these things on Facebook Marketplace. You can get a good deal on those, okay? So actually the minoxidil cans that I'm using right now, I actually found at a garage sale. I found 5 of them for 10 bucks, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to use that because it just saves me a bunch of money. So one of these cans is supposed to last a month with 2 applications a day, all right? So this works. This is proven. Second thing that works that is proven is finasteride, right? And here's my finasteride little can, the little blue tablets in here. And this is a 5 milligram finasteride dose, which is a lot. So what I do, and I've been doing this for 2 decades now, is I'll take like a pill cutter, or I'll just break it up with a knife or something like that into quarters. Because if you take a milligram of finasteride a day, that's enough to eliminate about 70 to 80% of the DHT production on your scalp. And DHT really is the actual culprit of sorts. It's the thing that kind of binds to the receptors at the follicle level and kind of makes the follicle close like this, right? So DHT is basically, hand in hand the cause of that whole thing. So essentially what I have, and what most males have, and probably females and some females, not probably all females, but some, because the other part of females' hair loss is going to be dealing with your hormones and everything like that, and stressors. But what I have, and what most males have, is going to be called androgenetic alopecia, okay? It's basically a hypersensitivity to DHT. So this right here, I split it into quarters. I take about 1.25 milligrams a day, and I take it in the morning. I don't think timing really matters. And yeah, I mean, it's tasteless, whatever. And you get so many of these and you put them into quarters. I mean, one bottle lasts like a year and a half basically. So that's another thing that I take that is absolutely helping to regrow some hair. Now, the other thing that I found on Facebook Marketplace, but these exist on Amazon, and you want to get probably an FDA cleared one, and that is an IR helmet. So this is called an eye helmet, and it spits out, I think, in 3 different IR waves. It's basically like red light therapy, as I understand it, for your head. When I put it on my head, I can't really demonstrate it right now because as soon as you pull it off the head, the lasers go off. But essentially we have all these different lasers in here. And this is an FDA cleared helmet. I've been using this now for at least 6 or 7 months. I found it on Facebook Marketplace for, I think, 70 bucks, and I don't even think it was used once. The lady was like, I don't think I've ever used it. So this thing was brand new. This will run about 200 to maybe 300 bucks. The other brands that you definitely want to look out for, if you're going to try to score one for cheap, or you can just go on Amazon and order one right now, and that's going to be called a Capillus. And then the other one's called Iristore. And there's different models of Capillus, different models of Iristore, depending on the budget that you have to spend on your hair, right? Now notice when you put the helmet on, it's not gonna be on the side or anything like that. It's usually on the trouble spots, which is right here. So it kind of looks like a bike helmet. I always wanted one, sorry, my dog's barking. I always wanted one that was cordless, because they have some that go to a battery that kind of sits on your hip and you can walk around with it and stuff like that. They have some that plug in, but this one's totally like the battery's chilling in here, and then it's got a USB-C thing in the back. So I charge it one time, it'll do 5 sessions of 30 minutes. And the frequency of this thing, as opposed to the minoxidil, which is twice a day, finasteride once a day, the frequency of this thing is going to be every other day for 30 minutes. So when I boot it up, right here, I hold it down, it says eye helmet, I put it on, and you might be able to see some of the redness starting up. See right there? I don't know if you can see it on the video. So I'll just do this and I'll watch Netflix, or I'll play video games, or I'll edit reels, or I'll do random stuff and just keep it on, and it doesn't hurt, it doesn't feel hot, doesn't tingle, it doesn't do anything like that. So this thing absolutely does work. I pull it off, lasers go off. This thing does work, but it's not the only one that you can buy. There's other ones that you can buy. And this one is talking to me right now. Let me turn it off. Okay, so that's gonna be the protocol right there. If you want to kind of save your scalp and save your hair, then immediately go towards an IR helmet, the actual minoxidil and finasteride. That's gonna be where this video ends, okay? Because I wanna open up another one with the next part of my hair journey and how I'm going to, you know, basically beat this whole thing and try to keep as much hair on my head as I get older. At 47 years old, a lot of people out there with incredible amounts of stressors, or environmental kind of things and bad foods or smoking habits, are going to see accelerated hair loss. So you definitely want to watch my next video, which will talk about the stressors, because if you've got stressors in your life, and certain ones that I'll be pointing out, you're probably going to want to eliminate those as much as possible, okay? And then one last thing as a bonus tip here, if you're just chilling on the couch after you do your eye helmet or whatever, and you want to still, you know, do more things for your scalp, another thing you can do sitting in this box is this right here. It's just a little, you know, little scalp massager. It feels really good. And you just do it to yourself, you know, for about 10 to 12 minutes every night. And this is just going to promote circulation in your scalp region, or your scalp, should I say. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is cheap on Amazon. It's like 10 bucks and you can get like 2 of them. But that's pretty much the protocol. And I'm going to take you along the hair journey. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you put a comment down below. And then we're going to get another video with the stressors. You're going to want to watch that video, because I guarantee you some of those stressors, you're going to probably have some of them, and you want to eliminate those. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you on the next one. Take it easy. Goodbye.